What I'd like to do is open up with those of you who attended the workshop. I think we got Arlene here. Arlene, you want to share with us a little bit about what your takeaway was today?
Sure. Um, it was really interesting, and it also goes right along with your group and how you do things. And I'm really excited about it. And I've been wanting to do the group, but not 100% sure. I'm closer today than I was before. So just knowing how to set them up and like it goes right along with the way that you've set yours up, and it is so good. And to actually add it as affiliate and things like that, that I really like that idea, which you already do that. So um I just it blew me away when I was looking at the income, how quickly that could. And I know the numbers are big, but it's a start. So I'm looking forward to tomorrow. And I still kind of struggle with mine a little bit, but I'm trying to get it narrowed down. So
No problem. No problem. Cynthia, you were on the workshop today. You want to share with us a little bit about your takeaway today?
My takeaway was clarity. On a serious note, um, I have had this idea in my head forever, and I couldn't see the big picture until I got on the question with Michelle, and it cleared up some cobwebs from my mind. I
That
know that,
that VIP was amazing, wasn't it?
yes, I love it. I took a picture of what she drew on the board. I listened to her carefully, and my mind has not stopped racing. It's really good stuff. The training is good. If anybody missed it today, you can still tune in tomorrow. It's good stuff.
I'm gonna give you some giveaways today. Um, Depending on when you stay until the end, in regards to the VIP stuff. Um, it's an amazing workshop because I'm gonna tell you why people rant and rave about our community in terms of implementing, right, Arlene? In terms of implementing, we
correct.
we do everything that Michelle teach today. There's not one piece that we missed. And that's because most of you guys know me, I'm a sponge. And when Michelle started the community builder for DDC, I was there from the beginning. But the difference between myself and a lot of folks that are there is we already have the experience of building communities. We just wasn't doing it right. Does that make sense? And
Yep.
it takes a character to admit that they weren't doing it right. But when I'm in the wrong, I'm in the wrong. Because as I shared before, guys, we were more focused on information. We weren't really focused on transformation, you know? And I think with Arlene here, I know Rochelle was on, but she I let her in the community, but somehow she dropped out. She was also on the conference call. Um, the difference is this, guys. When it comes to transformation, you know, there's different levels of transformation. So you got the beginning stage, which is earning the trust. How do we know we've earned the minimum trust? Okay, the minimum trust is when you've agreed to come into the inner circle. That's like the minimum trust. When you came into the free community, how many of you guys have heard of the term called looky loo?
Mhm.
When you're in the free community, you're kind of like a looky loo. You're playing kind of they call peekaboo. You're kind of checking things out, right? You're trying to figure out, okay, is this real? Or is this another one of those communities? Or is this another one of those e-learning course. How many of y'all have come across that before, right?
Mhm.
Yep. Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
We're not here to give you an e-learning course, guys. And I'm going to share with you guys some of actual results. People that are really, really going into it and really getting the most out of it. Okay? Is it a perfect picture? Is it a perfect road? No, in some cases could be a rough road. Okay? Everybody has different personalities. Does that make sense, guys?
Yep.
Okay? So first and foremost, I want to welcome you guys to the community, especially we have a few. Hey, Ner! Wow, what a face! Good to see you, Ner. Uh,
Hey.
yeah. So we got Ner here. That's fairly new, and then we also have Sharon, who was invited by Breezy. If one of y'all have Breezy's number, please contact him. Ask him where he's at. So, um, and a lot of people don't understand how to market our community, right? Well, let me tell you who are the most effective people who market the community. They're the people who graduated from the Looky Loo. They're mostly in the inner circle because they saw enough value from the free community. So when you see enough value from the free community, guess what? You're going to market what you see value in, isn't it? Right? So it is what it is, right? Because you could see why people need the inner circle. Okay? So that's where it starts. But then when you're checking things out, you want to intake, right? You don't want to just hang around. You want to intake. And when you come here to do the peak is when how many of y'all here have done the audit for the 7-second test and the 3-click test? That means you've started to fix your social media, you started to fix your business card. How many of you guys have gone through that process? Right? This is very important. This is very important, right? Because when we talk about this particular is knowing what you do, who you are, right? And how you're going to solve their problem. How you going to help your audience, right? So when you go here, our most recent of our own, right? You know, is Martha. Okay? So if you go into the community, you're going to see a post that says going live must be present for giveaways. How many of you guys saw that post in the community? Right? When you go to that post, you join here to get here, right? To the workshop. And then you're going to click here when it goes to Martha. And it takes you directly to the other post that congratulates Martha, to be 2.0 strong. You want to say anything about that, Martha? you come a long road.
Well, I still feel, and I'm grateful for all your work and help, Kim. I need to get it all sorted out in my head better, get my feet underneath me, kind of a thing, where I can be effective with what I have at hand.
Absolutely. And this is where it comes. You're actually going to understand it better as we go through this quick Q&A here. But let me ask you guys this. Okay, we're going to go here. Okay, the test number 1. When you go look at the profile of Martha, can you tell what she does? Anybody can tell me what she does?
Yep.
Anybody? Say it out loud. Say it out loud.
She helps fixed income families earn more. She helps fixed income families earn more online simply and faster.
Good. And that took us a minute because we went back and forth with Chat GPT on this one. You see? So
Right.
this is a 7-second test, right? And then you can see that there's a clear call to action, which is the link right there on her profile, right? So this is important that it comes down to that. Okay, let me go back to our presentation. Hold on a second. So this is important because you got to know what she does, who she is, through the videos. Through the first 5 videos, you'll know who she is. She's very consistent on her story, right? And how she'll help people. So your first 3 videos, which should be your first 3 pin videos in your TikTok, right, should reflect exactly what your description is. You want to add anything on that, Brahim?
My fault. I was distracted. Say that one more time. What you do?
You want to add anything on that? What I was saying is the first 3 videos should match your descriptions on your TikTok. In other
Oh,
words,
yeah, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. They should.
so that's how you have a proper profile. Okay. Now, here's the number 2 is precising, which is the call to action, right? So when you go to the call to action, hang on a second, go back. When you go to the call to action, right? We're going to open this. Oh, hold on. All right, we'll go back to it. So when you go to the call to action, which is supposed to be the link tree, right? Let me ask you this. Does this looks pretty clear?
Yep.
Right? It's 3 options. You want the blueprint? Boom. You go to the blueprint. Doesn't it look beautiful?
It's awesome.
You see?
That's cool.
But
Yeah.
when you go to the blueprint, right?
Mhm.
And when you put in your information, okay, so let's say I put in my information and I put in my email and I put in my phone number. So now you're going to be building an SMS list, right? So that's very important because when you have the ability to contact someone, how much reassuring is it to make a sale?
Yeah.
Pretty good.
Pretty
Kim,
good.
Kim, since you're right there, this is Arlene. Could you
I love the way
click,
this funnel looks.
could you click on see yourself? I was just clicking on one of them and it didn't go anywhere. Can you click on see yourself? I
That
think
goes
that's the
to the
one.
video.
Okay, it did go there.
on
Okay.
the blueprint. The
And it might have been my connection. So, okay, thank you.
You're welcome. So you guys can see it's very clean, very interactive. Now you go to the overview page, which is the ready page, and this is where it starts the story. Very important. Okay. So obviously, some people they got enough information where they want to buy right here. So this is why it has a checkout button. Okay. Now, if they want more information, they're gonna click and it's gonna take them more into the details of Legacy Builder, right? Then it's gonna give them a little bit of statistics, right?
And where does that learn more? The button up there, where does that take you to? That
Oh,
one, learn more step-by-step blueprint.
it's an anchor. It's an anchor, Raheem. It's an anchor. So it's taking you to the next section of the website.
Okay.
And it starts telling you the story step by step, right? And then
Okay.
it starts telling you more facts. Then it goes what sets us apart, which is the licensed. How many of you guys here have completed the certification?
I have.
Did you guys learn a lot through the certification?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
It was good. Yes.
It was a college course.
The
Yes.
number one thing you should have got out of this certification is more confidence
Right.
because of what you learned. Does that make sense?
Yes.
You want to work with me? You want to work with Brahim? Our first requirement is that you do the certification because it's going to answer 99% of your questions.
Yep.
I want to ask you guys the question. So let's say I'm gonna say, Eldon, go ahead and unmute yourself. So Eldon, you're in my shoe, and you have two customers that come to you. One done the certification, one has not done the certification. They're both serious, but which one would you want to spend your time with? The one that did the certification or the one that didn't do the certification?
The one that did the certification, because you know that they have more interest in what they already did because they put time and energy to get certified.
That's right. Well, you're not going to feel like you're being redundant. Does that make sense?
True.
You know, there's no need to do the work twice when it can be done once, right?
Right.
So the thing is, this is where you start pre-qualifying your time. Because I'm going to tell you this. The time you take to answer someone's questions that could have been answered through the certification is time that you took away from your family. It's time that you took away from your significant others.
Yep.
And in Brahim's case, it's time that he took away from his puppies. So you see, just like here, they're going to take you to the next section. So if that wasn't enough, we've got 6 testimonials. What would you say to these folks, Brahim? Why should they listen to these testimonials?
Why should they listen to the testimonials?
Yep,
Because it actually will give you, it'll give you testimonies that you can actually use yourself. So meaning you can leverage these testimonials in your own marketing until you have your own testimonial.
absolutely. And not only that, when a customer comes to you and asks a question about these testimonials, all it takes is for you to say, I don't know, and you lost them.
Yep.
They're not going to listen to another word from you because you just asked them to do something you didn't do.
Yep.
You just lost all your credibility and trust right there and then. That's why it's important. You see? So now they come in here, guess what? 80%, guys, of my customers, on my last 10 customers that I enrolled in this program, since we've had the 2.0 up from HBA, okay? I've already enrolled 10 customers, okay? They all enrolled on this button right here. 80% of them. 8 out of 10. They didn't go further. Is that pretty good statistic there?
Oh yeah.
Right?
That's
Wow.
beautiful.
Okay, because they've got enough information to this point. Now, you got your analytical people, right? Anybody know any analytical people? The analytical people were 2 of them. Okay. They needed more information, but when they're ready to enroll, it's going to take them directly to the 900 page, right? Put in your credit card, right? So let's go back and go down here. Gonna learn more. So now what are we doing? We're earning trust with what? With your story.
Right.
Does that make sense? Now it's time for you to get to know who you're working with. You see? So now you got your shortened story, right? You three main sections. So if you guys are going through the HBA part and we personalize it, we're gonna ask you to mimic these 3 sections for your story. Okay? Then we give him a chance to connect with Martha. Now you get a chance to connect with the person you're buying from because obviously there was not enough trust, and it's probably because they want to know if you're a real person. Is that about right? So guess what? We're going to give them a chance for them to see that you're a real person. And this is your phone number that goes here, right? And Martha caught that. And I thank you, Martha, for that. Thank you for that. So I went back and fixed everybody else's, right? But now it takes you directly to their link tree. We give them something to look at. You see? So now what happens? It comes right back around to square one. So that way they know that this is a real deal. This is not some fly by night thing. Does that make sense so far, guys? Does that make sense? And then we go down and they want to learn more. So this is the analytical person, right? The analytical person wants more. So now we tell them what's perfect. We give them the mom stories, right? And then we go down here and tell them it's not about Martha, it's not about any of us, but it's about the community. You see? Now, the analytical person, they won't stop here. They're going to want more. So this is where we go down here to tell them where there's a takeaway. This is the takeaway part. This might not be for you. And we tell them why it might not be for you. Okay? Remember, we live in a lazy world, right? Then we come down here and there's 4 powerful testimonials. So you got Del Peak, you got Mary, right? You got Christelle, and then you also have Nicholas. If you don't know by now, Nicholas is a disabled person, but I'm going to tell you, mentally, you would never tell he's disabled. He's one of the most powerful 6-figure earners in the community. Pretty amazing. He's been there from the beginning though, okay? So this is why you need to watch these so you can know their story. Their story might relate to one of your customers. Okay? And guess what? The analytical guys still want us to keep going. They want to learn more from losing 2 jobs. So this is Michelle's story. Then they're gonna want know what master resale right means or what master resale right is not, right? And guess what? We're gonna do a quick recap for them. We're gonna test them out to see if they're ready to check out. Now, my 2 that I told you, they didn't check out here either. That wasn't enough. That's how analytical they were. Okay. They actually checked out right here after they went to see the bonuses. So the checkout button after the bonuses, right? This is just a recap of all the programs. But when they went down here after the bonuses, is where they actually checked out right here. So that's usually where your analytical person is going to check out. Does this help you understand more how the website was put together?
Yeah, it's beautiful, man. And does
Yes.
HBA let you know which buttons were clicked or no?
No, it's not that detailed.
Okay, okay, okay.
I don't know that there is any platform that is that detailed. So,
No, the only one was there was a platform that was kind of like Linktree
uh-huh.
that told you where they were, but it was very one dimensional. It wasn't a whole funnel builder.
All good. So let's go ahead and go right back here.
Tim, this is Arlene. Hold on 1 second. I was laughing while you were talking about that because I read through that 2 times before I bought.
Oh,
So I just had to share that with you all the way from top to bottom.
it's all good. It's all good. So you see, the thing is this, guys. It's not about you, but it's about your customer. So when you go through it and you don't understand it and you don't buy it, do you think your customer is going to buy it? No.
No.
When you understand it and you can see that it relates to you, then you know your customer is going to buy it. Does that make sense, guys? Right? And the most important thing is that when your customer connects with you and then they ask you a question, you got to be on top of your game. You don't have room for mistakes because you're talking to someone who didn't know you from Adams. So they're already very, very skeptical. Right? Right, Brahim? They're very skeptical. They're like, you got to be on top of your game. You got to know what you're talking about. Okay? So this is very, very important. Okay? So this is the call to action, right? So this is the call to action. So now let's go to the prioritize. This is where you connect to earn, right? So when you connect to earn, this is supposed to take you to the community, right? Hold on. I'm not sure why the link that I attached didn't work, but it's supposed to take you to the community, right? So let's go to the community, right? It's supposed to take you here to the community because when you connect, you're sending him to the free community. You see? So this is, I'm going to ask you guys a test question. You ready? Do you send a link to someone or do you walk them through the sign up?
Walk
Walk
them
them
through
through.
it.
Now, how many of y'all guilty sending links?
Guilty is charged.
Yeah.
Let me tell you something. When you send someone a link, you got to send 10 links before one sign up. When you walk through someone through the sign up and you do 10, you sign up 10. Which one sounds more attractive?
10 out of 10.
Second
Yeah.
one.
To me, 10 out of 10 is a better conversion, isn't it? So, who is the problem? You got all the tools. Who is the problem?
Yeah.
I'm
I'm
telling you
guilty. I'm guilty as charged, bro. I ain't gonna lie. Guilty
guys.
as charged.
Why do you think Kim Milano has the most sign up till this day?
Because you walk them through.
Every single one of them.
So Kim,
Yes.
I have, but I've shared before that I was in the chat sending an invitation to people for the free community, and if they're
You should,
interested, could send them the link. So I should not do that anymore, right? I should say, if
no,
you're
no,
interested,
your purpose, right? When you're in a group like DGC or like in a community, your purpose is just to connect with them, not to invite them. You're going to connect because you're still earning trust. You just met the person and you don't want to sound like another person trying to sell something. Does that make sense? So when you connect with them, what you're doing is you're taking them offline. You guys understand between online to offline, right? That means you're taking them into a private conversation. Once you go into a private conversation, what are you doing? You're listening to hear what their problem is. Once you know the problem, it's kind of like you being a matchmaker. Okay? You've got the benefits, you just got to match the benefit to the problem. Does that make sense, guys? Now that you got a match, guess what? Let's sign you up and don't cost you nothing. But now, what is it? Value over
oh,
free. We can't say over cost because there's no cost. So it's value over free.
Yeah.
Does that make sense, guys? Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Right? And then comes the walkthrough, right? So that's the next part of the next step, right? Is the walkthrough. Number 4, right? Because what happens? Now your goal is to increase the odds of you being able to earn. Does that make sense? Let me tell you the statistics of this community right now. 95% of the people that receive a walkthrough, that means they were willing to respond to a text, to a call, to email, to do a walkthrough, either by me or the person who invited them, today is in the inner circle. That means if there were 100 people in the free community, only 5 of them only 5 of them would not be in the inner circle that receive a walkthrough. We've got people right now in the community that haven't received a walkthrough, but they still show up and post in the community every single day. And I'm not going to name anyone, but some of you know who they are because you see them constantly posting in the community. And you guys are responding to their posts. So they know how to engage, but for whatever reason, they don't know how to show up. Does that make sense, guys?
Sure.
Hey, let me tell you why they don't show up. It's because whoever invited them to the community hasn't expressed how important it is to come to the free workshop to get the transformation. You're not going to get the transformation unless you attend the workshop. Anybody else? Put a 10 if you agree in that in the chat. So the walkthrough is very simple, guys. Let me go ahead and go right here in the walkthrough. Is that they need to see some kind of value out of the first 6 classroom modules. Does that make sense? When they see the value in this first 6 classroom, right? And I know Michelle talked a little bit about that, right? She talked about your offer, right? Right, Arlene? So our first 6 classroom modules is the offer. That's our offer. It has to be clear. I can't make it more clear than this to you guys. 7-second test, 3-click test. That's our offer. How do you take a 7-second test and 3-click test and elevate? Module number 5 or number 4, which is the 10x your digital marketing. And that's where Legacy Builder comes in. That's why you guys have people in the community that are making sales, even though they may not have everything there ready, perfect, but they're still making sales. Which one you rather be in? In a position where you made a sale and everything is not perfect, or everything is perfect and you didn't make a sale? Which one would you rather be in?
Yeah. Well, of
Look,
course.
I wish somebody had a community like this when I joined. Well, what's your take on that, Brahim?
Yeah, that would have been really cool, dude. Seriously.
Ain't nobody putting a community like this together when I joined. I was swimming with the sharks. I was lucky I still got 2 legs and 2 arms. So, the follow-up is key, guys. The follow-up is key. Why? Your objective of the follow-up is to express what you have gotten out of the workshops to your person that you refer. So obviously, you can't share that unless you've attended the workshop and got something out of it, right? Does that make sense? That's kind of where it's at, guys. Understanding this, understanding the legacy website, understanding how someone comes in, how to build your list, right? All adds up and it reflects your results and your conversion rates. Is this making a little bit more sense to you guys? Drop a 5 if this is making more sense for you guys in the chat.
Yeah.
You see? And listen, this is not the end of it. I'm going to be drilling this and drilling it and drilling it and drilling it because We're going to have an incredible promotion in the month of July. But when does this start to get credit to you guys? Today, for those of you who show up today. So whatever results you're going to get from today, for those of you guys who show up, and I will put the list of who showed up, right? Everybody else starts on July 1st. Everybody good?
Go.
Yep.
So it means you guys are going to have a 6-day head start. Might not seem like a whole lot, but what does 6 days head start do, Raheem?
Gives you the jump on things. It does. It gives you the jump on it.
So you see, first I want to do this. I want to welcome some of our new members. So we're going to go in here. So we have this person here. I actually spoke to this person. I called them on WhatsApp, Raheem.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I called them on WhatsApp. They're also in DGC as well.
Okay.
She's a 900 customer.
Okay.
Yeah, she's from yeah, South Africa. So she came in, and then we have Sharon. Sharon, you want to say a few words? Got shy people.
Right.
Got shy people. It's all good. We'll catch you next time. So for those, oh, here we go, Sharon. I saw you on mute.
Hello, how are y'all doing? My
Good.
name is Sharon. I'm from Georgia, and I'm just starting out. Still in the learning process.
How did you meet Breezy by any chance?
We're Facebook friends, and I think we're friends on TikTok. And he had a advertisement on TikTok, and I was interested, and trying to find a way to make some money.
I see. What caught your attention? What do you remember what he specifically said to catch your attention?
No, no, sir. But he has a lot of interesting videos on TikTok, and I just kept looking, and so I responded.
Okay.
Okay.
Go. There you go. So it works.
It works, guys. Attraction marketing.
Proven
Okay.
system.
Very good. Well, welcome aboard, Sharon.
Thank you.
All right. And then Miss Nur. So Nur is not a new subscriber, but she's definitely new for workshop. Nur, you want to say a couple words? Nur was invited by Cynthia.
Yeah, I've been MIA.
What's
I
that?
signed up. I said I've been MIA.
You got to be careful. That's the name of one of our community members, Mia.
Oh, you got jokes, but okay. Yeah, so no, I didn't even know what this was about tonight. Yeah, I was invited by Auntie Cynthia. I know I've joined the community, but I haven't done much in it. I haven't been active. I've been focused on some other things, so just wanted to see what this was.
No problem. No problem. Here's what I will tell you. There's 23 income streams waiting for you.
Mm-hmm.
And that's one of the biggest benefits we offer. And I think, hey, Arlene, you want to say something about that based on what you learned today?
It was mind blowing when you can start adding up those multiple streams of income.
Can I talk to you
Um,
later? I'm on a
It's,
call right now.
I mean, even on just a small amount, you just start adding a few people. And this you can add in addition to your legacy. This is like a second income, or third, or all of the way that you can just add the income was mind blowing today. So I just want
Four
to say
people right now.
that yeah, exactly. And the way the
We have
affiliates
four
work,
people, Arlene. We have 4 people right now that are earning at least $100 reoccurring from the inner circle.
okay, awesome, awesome. So, that's fantastic. And that's just a few people, a handful of people in there.
So we're pretty excited because of the way this is all set up. This gives you a chance to not have to wait forever just to make a $900 sale. Bottom line is you gotta be in earning mode, right? You can't eat the whole elephant on one bite, can you? But when you can take a bite at a time and you can win one bite at a time, eventually you eat the elephant.
You can
Not
if you
that I would
surround
eat
yourself.
one, but you know. So this is pretty amazing, guys. Okay. Um, wanna take a minute here and kind of share with you how people start in the community, right? There's three ways people start. Most, I would say 90% of the people, they start number one, they walk. Again, we call them looky loos. They come in the community, they check things out, right? And then about another 5%, right? They make the extra step. They go, this is about 1 out of 5, right? 1 out of 5 right now in our free versus our inner circle, they see enough value and they want to take advantage of it. And those who have, most have at least one reoccurring customer. Pretty amazing. Okay. And then you got those of you, which is a pretty high statistic, is they want to fly. So they see the value. They want to really be effective, like the Marthas, the Jeffs, all you guys. Actually, 90% of the people on this call right now are part of the coaching program, if that tells you much. Now, I'm not telling you that all of them are taking advantage of it, but majority is. And I'm going to tell you, those are the ones that got things set up. They start to understand things. They start connecting the dots. They start getting results. And a lot of them are just stumbling forward and still confused. You know, this is how I learned the industry of people. Because one thing I realized is the more you know, the less you do. How many of you guys can relate to that? Because you know too much. You did more in the beginning where you didn't know anything because you were hungry to get a result. Does that make sense, guys?
Mm-hmm.
That's just the way it works. So I always tell myself to not get caught into the know too much and continue doing and understand along the way, right? Think about this for a second. This might relate to you, this might not. You're in the airplane, you're 30,000 foot in the air, and you have no choice but to jump. Do you wait until the perfect weather to jump, or you're going to jump and figure it out?
Jump, figure it out.
Go and jump and figure it out
Yeah. Jump and figure it out.
and pray.
That's how this business is, guys. That's how this business is. Okay. So this is our team. And I can't tell you enough, but this new platform we're using, HBA, is amazing. It's off the chain. I'm in the process of rebuilding all the funnels there. Okay. Um, you guys are gonna see a whole new PPP website. You're gonna see a whole new PPP funnel to invite people in the community. Domains stay the same, but you're gonna see that it's gonna change when you see the domain. Okay, you're still typing in the same links, connecting the same links, but don't be surprised when you see a new funnel come in. Okay, we're not changing the domains, we're just changing the looks. Does that make sense, guys? So I do have 13 minutes. I'd like to get some feedback from some of you guys, or maybe some questions and answers. Raheem and I are both here. We both have an open door policy. Okay, and those of you, maybe you can introduce yourself, Raheem, a little bit. Some people may not know you directly. Maybe you can give them a quick introduction.
Yeah, so guys, I'm Brahim Lark. I've actually been in the network marketing industry since 2017. Me and Kim kind of linked up. We knew each other for a few years, just through a few other businesses. Um, and I got into Legacy Builders in 20, what was it, May 29th, 2024. So since then, I made about over 45,000 in with Legacy Builders. Um, and when I saw Kim's community, because I was actually thinking about creating my own. So me and Kim both live in Jacksonville. We finally linked up and I went to his house to kind of pick his brain. And then I saw the community that he built. And actually, it was made more sense to kind of partner together than actually create my own community. So yeah, guys, I'm here. If you guys need anything, we have an app coming for the community for the free ads. If you guys have taken that free ads training in the Legacy Builders program. So we do have an app coming in the next few weeks to kind of help streamline that process and make it a little easier for everybody. That will be free for this community, and it does have an affiliate. So if you share, you guys can make some money with that app as well. But yeah, I'm here to answer questions. I think almost everyone has my phone number here, but I'll put it in the chat again just in case. But yeah, guys, I'm here if you need me.
So just to clarify, okay, that app will be free for you in the inner circle.
Right, in the inner circle. In the inner circle. Right.
We're excited, guys. Any questions? Any answers? I'll be surprised somebody got no questions.
I got a question.
Go ahead.
Is that me?
Yes, go ahead. You
Okay.
up.
Okay, you were talking earlier about the 1, 2, 3, what I do, who I am, how I can solve their problem. I
Mhm.
was thinking every video should include those three, but then you said today that my three pin videos, each one should address those separately.
So
And
no, I
so,
never said it addressed separately. What I said is when they watch your first three pin videos, it should
yeah,
reflect right back to the description of your TikTok.
well, shouldn't everyone have those three?
Yes, but not everybody's gonna watch all your videos. What are they gonna watch? They're gonna watch the first three videos. That's the first three videos they're gonna watch.
So just make sure they're there. Okay, thank you.
So you got to be careful what you pin. When you pin your first three videos, you want to make sure that they reflect your description. That's what's very important. Maybe you can stress anything on that, Brahim?
No, it's actually good advice. And what's funny is that my three pin posts, I did that without even knowing that. Like before I even learned that, I kind of because what I did was I just posted my three highest performing videos, and then I actually took one down and put a pin post of what I do, like what I offer everybody. So all three of my pin posts do match what my description says. But no, it's a very good it's very good because those pin posts are usually what people watch first, and then if they start, if they get intrigued, then they'll watch more of your videos. Also, guys, I didn't know if you guys know about this, but there's a you can create a playlist in TikTok now too. So you can have a playlist that's pinned to the top of your profile, and you can add videos in succession, especially your higher performing
You
videos.
you you want to put something together either for tomorrow or Friday?
Oh, sure, yep. That was something I just learned like 2 weeks ago too. I was like, oh snap, you can put a
So
playlist.
would you prefer Wednesday or Friday? You need time or you good?
Well, no, it doesn't take much time. I mean, it's just
Let's do it tomorrow. So guys,
yeah.
you're gonna come in our workshop tomorrow. That's your topic tomorrow. How many of you guys want to learn how to put a pin, a playlist in your TikTok?
That's great. Yes.
Yeah.
All right, then make sure you show up tomorrow. Awesome. You guys see the importance of community? This is how you build a community, guys. You gotta listen. And when you listen, you gotta deliver. Does that make sense, guys?
Yeah.
That's how it works. Okay. So